One thing that's a little challenging about morning madness, quite honestly, is getting up and facing myself on a computer screen. When I start the camera, it shows me a picture of what you guys are seeing, and it gets kind of scary, especially depending on the day. Sometimes when I wake up and I go to the mirror, I put my contacts in and I think, oh my goodness, I wish there was more time between now and morning man. But mirrors are an interesting thing. I've titled this devotional "Mirror, Mirror on the Wall." I kind of want to reflect a little bit, no pun intended, on the fairy tale of Snow White. It's a well-known fairy tale told by in many different ways through books or films or cartoons by a lot of different people. And in it, there is an evil, beautiful queen who rules a kingdom. And she's pretty vain. She has in her possession a magic mirror. And every day she'll go to, as part of her everyday routine, she'll go to this magic mirror and she'll say the words, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all?" And day by day, this mirror will respond, telling her that she is, in fact, the fairest of the land, is satisfying her own vanity in a sense. But there comes a day as she's getting older, the mirror and its honesty, it says there's someone else, Snow White, who is her stepdaughter. You guys know the story. It's a well-known, famous story. She has to do away with this threat to her. There's a competitiveness about her, about being the most beautiful. Um, but the desire to be beautiful or attractive is natural, and we live in a competitive world. Unfortunately, today's beauty is ranked. Today, we don't need magic mirrors to tell us who the fairest one of all is. Magazines, media, they tell us, they broadcast it, they promote it, they sell it. And mirrors for the vast majority of us, especially as we grow older, can become more and more unkind. For they tell us how far we are behind of the ideal. They tell us we are not the fairest one anymore or how far we are. But mirrors, apart from our own vanity, can be quite useful. They can help us to see the world around us when we tilt them a little bit. I mean, we use mirrors every day. Every time we get into our car, we use mirrors for they help us be safe. They help us know what's going on. They help us be aware. Whether we're focused on ourselves or the world around us, mirrors help us see reality. They reflect, for better or worse, what that reality is. But there is a mirror that can do more. There is a mirror that can actually transform our reality. There is a mirror, not a magic mirror, that can actually make us more attractive, to make us more beautiful in ways that actually matter. In 2 Corinthians chapter 3, Paul, when he's writing to the Corinthian church about Moses, he's using Moses as an example. And going back to the story when Moses would meet with God in the desert. And then the glory of God would so affect him. He spoke to God face to face, scripture tells us. The glory of God would so affect him that his face would actually radiate with the glory of God. And so the people asked him to put a veil on, and the veil was so that the people would be separated. You know, this God is too holy, too great, too glorious for us. But it also served a purpose for Moses, maybe a point of vanity, where as the days would go by, this would fade. The glory of God would fade from his face, and people, if they couldn't see the glory of God originally because of the veil, they couldn't see it fading from him. So Paul's going on about this, about the use of the veil and how that is, he's going drawing parallels with the veil that's placed over the hearts of the unbelievers. But in verse 18 of chapter 3 of 2 Corinthians, he writes, we all, with unveiled faces, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, just as by the Spirit of the Lord. In the Amplified Version, which is a version which amplifies everything, puts it like this: and we all, with unveiled face, continually seeing as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are progressively being transformed into his image, one degree of glory to even more glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit. It's the Spirit working this transformation in us through what? Through, as we look through the mirrors of the gospel, seeing who Jesus is. As we see who Jesus is, we are being transformed into his glorious image through the Spirit, step by step. According to these words, we are becoming more beautiful. How? Not by surgery or trying to cut makeup or anything like that. We are becoming more beautiful, more attractive by looking unto Jesus. When we see him, we shall be like him. In the case of most mirrors, mirrors simply reflect reality. This reality can be interesting, or it can be frightening, or it can be disheartening. But staring at a mirror doesn't change reality. It doesn't change the reality around us, and it doesn't change our reality. It's just staring. But when we use this mirror, the mirror of the gospel, to fix our eyes on Jesus, when we stare at the mirror of the gospel, at the life of Jesus, we are transformed into his likeness. The Apostle John echoes this in his first letter. In 1 John 3:2 and 3, he writes, "Beloved, now we are children of God, and it has not yet been revealed what we shall be. But we know that when he is revealed, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is." This John, the Apostle John, he says, when we see him like he is, through the mirrors of initially through the mirrors of the gospel, but eventually when we see him without the mirrors of the gospel, when we're looking at him with our eyes, we'll be transformed more into it. We'll be transformed to his likeness by seeing him. For that reason, we look to Jesus. For that reason, we fix our eyes on Jesus, who is not only the author of our faith, but the finisher of it as well. So if you're looking into a mirror today and you're not liking what you're seeing, now that can be either literally or figuratively. I challenge you to tilt your mirror. To tilt your mirror so that you see what you see isn't your own reflection. Not even the world around you, but tilt your mirror, use the mirror that what you see is his reflection. And as you do so, I think you will be, well, not just what I think you will be, but what Scripture tells us, you will be transformed. You will be surprised. So have a great day.